traditional economy and the knowledge economy, where I've classified my country, Zambia, as a traditional economy. Reasons being that whenever our leaders, like the ministers and president, if they are sick, they seek medical attention to knowledge economy, like India, because they have infrastructures and they have qualified personnel to attend to them. Then knowledge economy, like India, it has capital goods like plants, machinery, even the human resource. Whereas in Zambia, we don't have such. When it comes to education, we don't have enough infrastructure. But when you look at the knowledge economy, they have such. Then we also looked at transnational education, where, like knowledge economy countries, they've decided to establish campuses in developing countries like Zambia. We have campuses from knowledge economy. Yes. Now, over today's presentation on Unity 3, there are certain things that I got there about distance education and open learning. I've discovered that distance education and open learning, they are not the same, they are different. But they should work hand in hand. Then maybe someone can come in. I'll come.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's a good, you have read it and analyzed it, Maris. Yeah, our country is still traditional economy. Even India also, of course, following the traditional one, but the switching, moving towards the knowledge economy. I think it is a transition. It is a transition. I think countries have to work together. That's important. Yeah, that's a nice comparison. I think you have made an effort. I appreciate that. And then when it comes to the unit, block 3, unit 1, distance education, I thought you would say more, but you said, okay, let others talk about it, and you stopped it. Huh? I thought you will speak more on that. Anyhow, no problem. I think let others, any other colleague, thank you. I think whenever, to Maurice and all other colleagues, whenever you start reading the soft copies material from the platform, you just noted down the main points and try to relate it to your own country or any country's experiences which you are familiar with. Not only Zambia, if you know about any other African country's experiences, try to relate them. That will be the good exercise. So that's a good. Anybody else wants to say something, that they read it something, or they related something? Yeah, anybody? Otherwise, I will go for the last class. We started the block 3. That is the block 3 is the important one. That's particularly the planning and management of distance education. In the first 2 blocks, we talked about the general higher education and its systems. In the block 2, we focused on the higher education scenario of India, higher education scenario of third world countries, globalization. That's what Boris discussed it. So that's the block 2 we have covered. Now last session we entered into the block 3, which we talked about the exclusively how you plan the distance education, how you design the distance education institutions, how you develop the distance education universities, how you manage the distance education institutions is a different ball game. So that unit of the block talks about that. And the first unit we discussed it, origin and what's understanding the system. I think I explained to you what is distance education, what is correspondence education, how they are different to the open learning. Open learning is a philosophy. Open learning is a flexibility. Open learning is not a mode, it is beyond the mode. So the flexibility can be adjusted or adapted by the distance education institutions more. Even nowadays, even a conventional regular institution are also following the open learning philosophy. I hope you got my point. What do you mean by that? When I said even the regular universities and colleges are also following the open learning philosophy. Open learning philosophy or open education. What does it mean? It means even a regular college or a regular university asking the students, you come and join my institution for a MBA course or for MCA course or MSc physics course. You need not attend the regular. When you are going to a regular institution, you have to attend the classes. Am I correct? Yeah. But they say, no, we will give some concession. We will give some flexibility. What do you mean? Okay, you need not attend classes every day basis. You attend the classes maybe once in a 2 months or once in 3 months or one semester you attend the classes. Another semester you will not attend the classes. I will teach you through online in the second semester or some other mode in the third semester. So that is where the flexibility, so that students who are working may not earlier may not be able to join the regular. That's why they are coming to distance. So like you people, you are all employees in different duties. So naturally, you cannot go to the college for to attend a MA program through regular mode. So you are coming to the distance mode or open learning mode. So this is the how the philosophy of open learning is used by the even a regular institution because the to attract the more number of students, to give more flexibility to the student. I think working people, you may not get a 6 months leave or a 1 year leave to join a regular course. So what they say is, you don't take the leave, you attend my online sessions towards the weekends or a regular sessions towards. So this is how the flexibility or openness is the followed the conventional institution. Of course, distance education institutions, we are regularly following the flexibility. I think that's how we admitted you all from different countries in the world, and you are studying. This is a flexibility. I think we are not attending a face-to-face session. I'm not seeing you, except virtually I'm seeing you, and actually we are interacting. So this is a flexibility. And then, of course, when it comes to the age group, if it is the colleges, age group will be similar. Maybe will be similar. So those who are studying, you want to join MA, I think those people who have completed the graduation, maybe around 18, 19 years or 20 years only will come to the post-graduation. Am I correct? Yeah. So naturally that age group will be more or less similar. But in here, you are younger people, you are older people, you are a other age groups, so different age groups. That's what we call the heterogeneity of the distance education system. So this is where the flexibility. So we all talked about the concepts in the unit 1. We also talked about the what is distance education, why the various governments are giving a priority or of what made what are the issues that are demanding or making a country to go for a distance education. I think we discussed that because the countries who cannot afford to open a number of colleges or a number of higher education institutions in their country because of the lack of resources, human resources, expertise, and financial resources. So naturally, suppose tomorrow Kenya wants to start at 10 universities, Zambia wanted to do 5, you can't do it. The government needs a resource, government needs an academic faculty, government needs various other things, buildings. So they say, no, we cannot open it. So at least they can think alternatives. So while thinking alternatives, the best one of the first alternatives is a distance education system, where you have to invest something. Not without investment, you can create a distance education institution. But once you invest, that naturally you can take the advantage of the strength of distance education. That's how one has to see that. So we'll be talking about the other units in the block 3. So, Aji, आइए और क्या हुआ? क्लास में ना? हाँ,
Prof, I have a question on the open learning philosophy.
एक मिनट, Marish, 1 second. Hold on for a second. I will come back to you. One Yeah, Boris, sorry.
I'm also mad.
You are telling something. Khadija, who wants to speak? Maris or Khadija?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Maris,
I was
and
saying,
then,
yes, on the open learning philosophy, when I went through the material, I discovered that this philosophy it first came I think the University of UK came up with that philosophy, whereby there was no prerequisite for someone to access the higher education. No prerequisite. Does it mean that even of late, for one to access the higher education, they don't consider the prerequisites for one to be admitted at a university?
Okay, very important question, Maris. Let me react to this. Okay, it is not for all the programs. It's not for all the programs. Maybe it is for a undergraduate programs in certain areas to encourage the people to join. That type of removing the prerequisites, not for all the programs. Okay, because the moment you open for all the programs, the quality, person who doesn't know anything coming to your MA program, it won't help. It won't help. So that the prerequisites removing or the giving the concession on the prerequisites is for a special few programs only, not for education, higher education. It's not like that. Okay. Yeah. So here also, I think in for undergraduate programs, those who have for undergraduation requirement, anybody who wants to join my BA program, the students should complete the 10 plus 2, 10 years of plus 2, 12 years of schooling successfully are eligible to BA. Okay. But distance education institutions and others followed that those who have not cleared 10 plus 2 or those who have not cleared even a earlier stages, but those who are having the age of 18 or 20 can admit to the BA program subject to clearing the entrance test, entrance examination, clearing the bridge course. See the links, Maris. Yeah, clearing the entrance examination. At least we are testing whether the person has a knowledge of the content. So entrances followed by a bridge course of 6 months. He or she has to complete before starting the first year BA. That type of thing. But after some experiences, government said no, we should not go for this. Prerequisites removal is creating more problems and quality issues. So they removed that scheme. Now that's not there. So what you said is very relevant. Even the UK Open University has not left open this prerequisite issue, not for all the programs, maybe a specific program. I don't know now whether they are still continuing. They also removed that clause like IGNOU. Okay? Yeah. Who else? Somebody else is Suleiman, Khadija. Somebody wanted to speak. Where is he? So he's not there. So let me start the presentation. Khadija, please mute your mic. Okay, okay. Yeah, he has muted. Don't worry. Yeah. Present now. Okay. Is it visible? No. No, it's not visible. One second. It's not visible. Let me the entire screen. Yeah. Is it visible now? Hello?
Yes, it is visible.
Is
Well
it,
said.
it is visible?
Yeah. Yes,
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. It is visible.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. You can see this slide. It is a block 3 we are discussing. Last class we discussed the block 3 unit 1, and today we are going to discuss the block 3 unit 3 organizational structure of higher distance education institutions. A very important, not only the content point of view, even the examination point of view also very important theme. This will I think in the earlier classes, one second, hold on, I'll come back. Earlier
Modest, can
sessions,
you please
I
mute
was,
your mic?
yeah, somebody is openly close it. Friends, all the colleagues should switch off the mics, otherwise it creates a problems for me and for you all. I hope I request them. These friends, earlier classes I was referring. What I was referring? Single mode institutions, dual mode institutions, and consortiums, networking systems. So this higher education in the country, we have different types of institutions. IGNO is a one type of higher distance education institution. UKOU is also one type of distance education institution. UNISA is a different type of institution. So all these are different types of institution, maybe because of its a Deccan University and Malaysian University has a distance education systems. So these are all different institutions of higher education which are offering distance education programs. So these are all institutions are categorized into 2-3 categories. What are those categories? Why they are categorized like this? We will talk about in this session. Is it okay? Clear? Let us move to the in this unit, we will talk about, apart from introduction and objectives, what are the distance education institutions, the dual mode institutions, what are the dual mode, what are its characteristics, what are the single mode institutions, what are their characteristics, what are the consortia or network systems, and of course nowadays virtual distance institutions are also coming. That also we'll talk about it. Virtual distance teaching universities, and then what are the organizational structure of open universities, we'll talk a bit about it. I think that's how in this unit we'll talk about these are the major institutions. And what is the introduction of the unit? We took a close look at the variety and diversity. That's what I told you. Variety and diversity of the distance education systems functioning across the world, different institutions. What is the differences of these institutions? The permission would have also to help you to understand the typology of your organization. I think what are the various types we talk. Emergence of distance education, global phenomena, education across the world exploring new innovations. We all talk about those things. Next, what are the objectives? Once you complete this unit, you will be able to analyze and identify the critical factors that influence the organizational design, distance education institutions, design and develop appropriate organizational structures for distance education systems, both existing as well as new, can deliver specific objectives and purposes. Tomorrow, after completing MA in distance education, you are asked by your government, or you will be appointed as a vice chancellor to establish a open university or to establish a distance education center. So naturally, these categories, these experiences, these features will help you to fulfill the role of like that in future whenever it comes to you. Yeah. related the design of the organization to the existing as well as emerging. You can relate it. Build in initiative, innovative models of organization. But there are innovations and different models are there. Distance education will do that one. Next one is distribution of the typology. Yeah, we are entering into the content, the nature and type of distribution situation as a system, the models of organization that deliver distance education system, what are the various types, what are their nature, and then what is the organization models to deliver distance education. We'll talk about it, and then distance education as a system has evolved through several stages, each with a distance feature. I think various stages in the evolution or history, we talked about it. Distance education has passed through historical phase, evolutionary ladder. What are these at each junction? And if we were identified to these features of the type, the following systemic models, what are the systemic models? We'll talk about it. Learning for sitting examinations and obtaining qualifications. Yeah, I think we talked about external examinations in the previous classes. External examinations conducted by the University of London. They enrolled the students and conducted the examinations only. Their examinations are conducted by UNISA. That's what we talked about it. Learning with the help of postal or correspondence. Yeah. Learning with the help of postal tuition. Yeah. We explained about the Isaac Pittman short, how he has delivered it, and then group learning through distance education delivered at identified learning centers. I think China radio television experiences, and they taught to the students, particularly China. Radio and television is used as a method to teach their students of the distance learning. And then distance education by harnessing multiple mass media is the strength of the UK OU. That's what we talk. Next, dual mode. What is the dual mode institution? The dual mode institution is one that caters to the students' needs using both modes, the face-to-face regular mode and distance teaching with the support or without the support also. I think for this, dual mode institutions offer the regular program. Suppose we take the case of University of Delhi in India, located in the capital city, very old institution, old university. It offers mainly the regular programs, regular face-to-face programs, BA, BSc, MA, MSc, BCom, MCom, all those programs are offered. But the same university, as per the direction of the government of India, in 1962, they started the correspondence education system. And they introduced the correspondence first time in the 1962. So the University of Delhi, which is a regular conventional university, started it as a school of correspondence courses and continuing education. Why? So of course, government of India asked them to start it, that there is a large demand for higher education, and then that demand cannot be coped up by the regular colleges and institutions, and many students are not able to join the colleges. They thought, so those students who could not get the admission in the colleges and universities should be given a chance through this correspondence education. That's all. This 62, and there was a debate whether this will provide a good quality education or not. But it's an experimentation. Government of India did it, and after that, once 1962, the dual mode institution started in the University of Delhi. There are many other universities came forward to start. So I think at one point of time there are more than 200 regular universities who are teaching only through distance, only through regular face-to-face mode, started distance education departments or institutions within their regular universities of them. So that's how these universities where the distance education system, one of the wing or one of the department of it started offering the distance education, but rest of the things departments are offered through face-to-face is they called as a dual mode institution. I hope you got the point. So IGNOU is not a dual mode institution. IGNOU is I will explain what it is. But here University of Delhi as a dual mode institution, and in the same way we have Deccan University, Australia is a regular institution. Within the Department of Distance Education, they offer the programs to the. So Deccan University also comes under the like University of Delhi, the dual mode institution. Malaysia, yes, there is a University Science Malaysia. One of the department offers the correspondence. Otherwise, University Science Malaysia is the regular institution, regular face-to-face institution. Okay, friends. Yeah, that's what the Indian example, the Malaysian example, the main decision provided in Malaysia at the University of Science Malaysia, that is University of Science in English, established in 1969. US University of Science Malaysia, engineering science courses are all courses they offer. So this is where and the other example for the dual mode, Indian, I have already talked about it. The other one is the Australian example. What is the Australian example? Deccan University experimented, evolved over a period of time. Australian pattern of decision. 1982, Deccan University had a separate administrative unit to take care of its off-campus students. So I think that's a different model. So these are all examples for the dual mode institutions, and you can read about it more in the course material. I think broadly I explained that one. Okay, come to the yeah. What is this? The strength of this pattern, dual mode institution strength is, what are the strengths? Use of same academic expertise. Suppose you have a regular departments, suppose Department of Sociology, Department of Economics, Department of Mathematics, you have already faculty. So the same faculty can contribute to the distance education also without hiring the additional faculty. So that's one of the advantages. The same faculty which are already there can be used for both distance and the regular as well. In other words, the significant feature of the Australian pattern is that both on-campus students and as well as distance learners have the same faculty teaching the same course to the same standard. So that's where the claim is the same course is taught to classroom, face-to-face and the distance. The Indian pattern is very much in evidence at the University of Queensland. Yeah, the Indian example, what I talked a little while ago, is seen in the University of Queensland, Australia. They have the experience of this kind. Earlier, Deccan model is hardly different from what is followed for the University of New England. So these are the similarities of the. So these are all the dual mode institutions of that. So in particularly in India, the dual mode institutions, Government of India introduced in the 1962. That's what I said. Let me go back so that I can elaborate a little bit. Yeah, this is a slide. Indian example 1962. So, Government of India, after introducing 1962 the dual mode institutions for distance education, they reviewed the scheme after some time. They identified that some problems are there, some weaknesses. The strength of that. What is the major strength? So it could cater to the large number of students who are aspiring for education. Some extent that objective is fulfilled. But what is the demerits of this scheme is that the quality of curriculum, the quality of the materials developed, and the support provided to the distance education system through this distance learning. I think these institutions enroll the students in large numbers so that they get a lot of resources, a lot of money. But when you take the money from the students, are we providing the quality material? Are we providing the quality services? So that's what is. So these are the few disadvantages because distance education is seen as is a different way. It's not seen as equal to that of conventional regular classrooms. So these type of biases, so when they treat this as a different system, the quality is low. So naturally that will create a problem. So these are advantage. Yeah, enrolling the large number of students, but at the same time, the criticism is that the Indian government reviewed this dual mode institutions after some time. And after 1962, after 10, 15 years, they reviewed it. They said, I think, though the number of students are joining and the money is coming to the respective university, the quality has to be improved a lot. So then they came forward, the government of India formulated some guidelines and etc. how to improve the system. So I thought that let me say this one. So of course, University of Sans Malaysia and University of University of Malaria, University of Science Malaysia, and Deccan University. There are the advantages with these two institutions because the same faculty are bound to teach. That it's mandatory to maintain the quality, the same curriculum, and the students in the Deccan and the Science Malaysia, they are telling that those students who enroll for the distance education programs, they may suppose they enroll for a 3 years undergraduate program, let them attend through distance mode learn first 2 years, a third year at least as part of the semester they have to attend the face-to-face classes. So this is how the different innovations, the different experimentations are going. So that's how about the briefly I talked about the distance dual mode institutions. Let me talk about the what is the single mode institutions. One second. Yeah, the single mode institutions. This model started with the first Open University. Let's say British Open University or UK Open University, we call it, in 1969. So then, till then, there were no single mode institutions exclusively devoted to the distance education. But this is the single mode is nothing but devoting only to the distance education, offering programs only through distance mode. There is no regular classes or regular programs offered through face-to-face mode in the single mode institution. Those institutions who are offering, suppose take IGNOU. IGNOU is the single mode institution. UKOE is the single mode institution. Like that, many other Korean Open University, KOU, is single mode. Sukhothai Sumatra Open University in Thailand is single mode. So these are the single mode institutions. They do not offer the face-to-face come. Of course, in the first single mode institution, if you ask, in the world, that is the UK Open University in 1969. The first single mode institution in India, if you ask, it was established in a province as a provincial state open university, that's Andhra Pradesh Open University, in the year 1982. I think that case is there in the case studies of Block 5, Block 4. We'll talk about it later. Okay, this model evolved with the establishment of the British Open University in 1969. Many ways, this event of war and the evolution of this education was soon emulated across the world. I think I told you earlier when this developed country like a UK started this university, the world was late while they were establishing it, and then many institutions across the world observed it, and they decided that it is a good system, and then in their respective countries, including India, have seen that as a role model. This education at the school emulated across the world. In the 2003, Otto Peters is a famous distance educator in the world from Germany, calls into this distance education in more institutions called him as a multiple mass media model, because he said that we are using various media. It's not one media. It is a print we are using. It is an electronic. It is a digital audio program, video program, teleconferencing, audio conferencing, whatnot. So when we are using a multiple mass media model, he called this single mode institutionally multiple mass media, as it was the British Open University led the movement for open learning system in a big way. I think that's where the important thing. Yeah. UKOU, study origin of UKOU, organization structure is talked about in a minute. The British Open University is structured on the division of labor. It has academic schools and faculties who are design and develop the programs, and there are centers that identify, design, development of programs and courses. They have its own media preparation and production center. They to produce the media, audio programs or other related to media. They have the separate center, media production and the production center for developing and producing the electronic media materials. They produce the material. Regional service division, academic that provide learning support to these people. Yeah, I think a dedicated system like Open University should have support systems, should have facilitating systems to help the distance learner. That's important. So the quality of the institution depends in the distance education context, not only on the quality of the material. Quality of the material is to be ensured. Along with that, quality of the services provided, quality of the services delivered to the student is one of the key or benchmark or indicator you can call it. And then learning support for the established distance education service body, and then operate the course production and distribution. First is the material curriculum design and development. Curriculum design and then develop the material, and then of course. Yeah, how does the Open University education function? And yes, now we know that what are the dual model institutions, what are the single model institutions. I have already explained how these Open University function. Very from the beginning I was telling, it's not like once a college principal has experience of running the college, and then the vice chancellor of running the financial university has a rich experience. But it doesn't mean that they can be asked straight away to establish a university. That's what it means. Instruction will how that the Open Universities function. British Open Universities runs teaching programs for undergraduate, postgraduate, associate students. In addition, the university has a research program, PhD program, and development program, a program of international activities, yeah. And then and a program of the marketing of universities. So they have a very various the division of labor or various academic function, design and development are to done by the regular faculty, and then the divisions or support divisions are there to carry out to help them. Yeah, course production and distribution. Once the final draft of a course is sent by the course team to the editor, faculty or editor, I think the course is written by different faculties in the same subject who are familiar with the topic of the lesson. And once the units received from various course writers, I received the units for my course or a program. Then actually I have to see that these are written by different people. Some very rigorous content editing has to be done. What the content editing has to be done, so that the content editors, so we look at it so that things are in order. So the content is not the going any false content or a negative content is going. The Open University uses private printers to print the course materials, and it uses this WordPress to print several media. In some of the Open Universities, they have their own presses to print the material to a large number of students. It's a big industry. That's why the thing. So naturally, in case of the Open Universities, the material has to be designed and developed, and the material has to be printed and then dispatched to the student. And then, of course, along with that, distribution systems, faculty to design and develop, and various other experts are to design and develop media programs, audio, video, broadcasting programs. And then the other group is the resource persons who have to see that how these systems work, how these systems. I think management of student support services, suppose challenging to Open University is a challenge. You have enrolled a number of students from the different parts of the country and different parts of the world, but who are away from the institution. What type of support you are giving? Suppose you are not here, you are not ever in front of me. Each one of you are at different places in our home countries, in our country. So the program is launched, and then you have enrolled. But what are you getting the support? Are you getting the support? You see, this particular batch or group, I was told that there are 85 students, and there's only hardly 20 students are attending. So naturally, this is the why you have enrolled 80 students, only 20 10 students are coming. So these are all various issues of like that kind. Management of student support services. Nowadays, in the competitive market, particularly the management support services, providing the support distance is crucial. Of course, we say on the paper to attract the students, I will give this. But really, once the student join, are you really grieving that, or just it's a publicity stunt, or to attract the students you have called in them? So this is the issues of that kind, which one has to see that. Much of the success of university will depend on how carefully the services are planned and how different efficiently they are managed. The students could provide a useful model for any institution. Yeah, I think in UKOU they have developed a very good support services center, and that support service center is handled by an academic, a senior academic. Naturally, when the seniors academic has given a charge to do that, that will be fair enough, that will be good. Super could provide a useful model for the Open University in planning and managing students. Okay, in the UK, the students are provided a lot of support, model, useful model for any university. But the problem is that how many students will be joining your program, and then what type of support you have to provide. All these are the issues to be discussed. Establishment and maintenance of an effective network of study centers. Therefore, this is an online program, so you are not getting a. But in online program also you are getting. What is that? Suppose when we started this session, Dr. Jagdamba, my colleague from Regional Center Dehradun, is asking you if you have any problems online, are not able to access the videos of the sessions, you contact me so that I will try. So this is in the Open University, different people work together. It is a team approach. It is a teamwork. So we are faculty designing and developing the program, and the material is printed, material is uploaded to eGnanKosh repository, and the support services have to provide the regional centers. That's how the Dehradun Regional Center is facilitating, trying to provide the support to the students who have enrolled from the various countries of this under this e-development program. So this is how the things go. Establishment of regional academic centers. And actually, when the headquarters is in Delhi, how many centers you can establish it and to provide the student services? Students should have a study center nearby so that he or she can go to the study center, sort out the academic problems, sort out the personal problems, all these things have to be done. So coordination and supervision of tutorial service. First of all, where to establish where not to establish, which institution, because separately opening a building and with the necessary infrastructure, necessary expertise, I think IGNO needs a lot of resources which we don't have. That's how I think you establish learning centers or study centers at the regular conventional colleges which are already in existence. But they are already busy in teaching their own classes. Why they should give their space to you? I think my institution and their institution is same, the same. They belong to the this thing. So they will be in a better position to take. So this is how the academics centers, study centers, coordination and supervision. So what they do is the centers in a particular college are not how they are working. This supervision will be taken by the regional center. So Dehradun is a regional center. Under the Dehradun region, there are quite a study center. Regional centers are our own centers, owned by IGNO. But study centers are not IGNO centers. IGNO centers not owned by IGNO. The IGNO enters into a memorandum with a local college or a local university. So can we start a study center or learning center in our institution where my distance learners comes and interact with the academic counselors at the study center. But that's how the operations of the distance education system comes. The coordination and supervision of tutorial services, I think counseling services at different stages and provision for effective feedback. All those are the management and post production and draft once it is received by the faculty, and then editors will go through it and edit the material to ensure the quality and to see the some false information is going into the material or the material is developed in a particular fashion, particular support to it, or particular topic. All those issues are to be seen when it comes to the visualization systems. Establishment was always told that. So the next one is consortium. Yeah, that's how the dual mode institution, that is the single mode institution we talked about. And now we are entering the third category of the distance education institution. Now, what are these third category is called as a consortium or a network system. Consortium, what are they? This model is essentially a consequence of the digital transformation of the world. So it is, as I said, the world is becoming a global economy. The world is becoming a different thing. But I think the combination. So the combination and integration. So since we consider digital, suppose in Africa there are many big countries, there are many small countries. If a small country wants to establish a distance education system, it's not easy for them. Why it is not easy for the small country or a small population, densely populated country, or what type of program they can offer? So naturally, the assumption behind the consortium or network support is the small institutions may not be able to produce a distance education programs. Why they are not able to distance education program? Because they don't have the financial resources, they don't have the human expertise, they don't have the technology. So because of that, every small country or every small institution may not be able to establish distance education system, which needs a lot of expertise and financial support to start with. That's the reason they said can be instructive collaboration. Example of academic collaboration and economic collaboration is the consortium involving, 2-3 universities have come together. What are they? Massey University along with a few other universities of New Zealand. Massey University is in New Zealand. Along with that, there are a few other institutions in Thailand, in the New Zealand, and the University of South Pacific with headquarters at Fiji, In this case, Mr. University is the central material developing and producing agents. This is a group of institutions, small or a group of countries, small or big institution. Anybody can come and join in hands with another recruited institution, and they both of them can design and develop the material, spend the money, everything. And but the outcome of the consortium model is, suppose take Massey University is the lead in this group of consortia, and then the University of South Pacific is there, Fiji, and that's what they say is when the material is developed by the collaborative approach of the under network systems, those two institutions can take advantage of the material. It's not only the New Zealand University has developed the material, others should not know. The agreement before the start of the collaboration is that any outcome or any material or any curriculum which is coming out of the collaborative approach is used by all the members of the consortia. I think that's what is that. Suppose tomorrow Nigerian Open University or IGNO can jointly they enter into an agreement and then say that we will develop a program together. So actually they're a division of labor. Of course, we develop a program, or you develop alone the program and send it to the students, and then you may get the royalty also. So this is how the consortia or a network systems operate. Yeah, another consortia approach system example is Norsk Fernodizing in Norway, an institution with very small full-time staff of its own and which neither develops any study network. So the small institution cannot develop it on its own, cannot become a distribution institution because they don't have the expertise of that. And of course, last category, I explained the single mode institutions, I explained the dual mode institution, I explained consortia type. Now I am going for the last one, virtual distance teaching universities. Now you know the technological developments are taking place in a larger way across the globe. So naturally, they feel that the total teaching learning process, why can't we do the totally in the virtual mode? Means that's the online learning. Virtual mode or online learning. This is good. So, combined digital learning. Yeah, I think digital universities or virtual universities are the because these are all technology based. Because where you have a large technology, where if you have a large online platform, where can't we develop it, design the programs, and offer students across the group online only. So these are the virtual universities are given emphasis. Not many are there in the world, but in the gradually it will come. A few universities have already started offering the IGNO. Though we offered a few programs on online, but we cannot call it as a virtual university. And there are virtual universities are exclusively offered the programs through online or virtual mode only. That's a basic difference. Yeah. In 21st century, we are seeing more and more hybrid distance learning environments that combine the virtual classroom, the elements of all distance learning technologies that we have described so far, including all those things are there. Yeah, architecture of open university. Now we have covered different types. We've covered different types of institutions. So dual mode, single mode, consortia, and virtual type of universities. Now we are coming to what are the structures of the open universities, organization structure, particularly decision-making bodies here. We have the planning board, we have executive council. Executive council are a board of governors is the highest decision-making body. Planning board will help to plan the academic planning and the financial planning. Academic council is the what we call the largest body of the university to see the control or standardize or maintain the quality of the programs of the institution with the responsibility of the academic council, and of course to finance committee to the leading university to take care of the financial aspects, etc. And then structures unique to open universities. What are the structures unique to open universities? Network is there. No regular institution will have a regional network of that kind, but regional centers. But distance education should have regional services or a support centers network to provide the services to the distance learners. And of course, who are the people involved? There is the institution will consist of many people, many faculty, many non-teaching, non-academic staff, technical staff, computer professionals, media professionals, to this type of thing. And head of the institution, whether we call it the vice chancellor, or we can call it the president, something like that. And then he will be the head of the institution. And in case of IGNO, it's really the case with our open universities. Head of the institution will be supported by the various vice chancellors, and then directors of schools, deans of schools. So this is the organization. Each one will have a responsibility. And then, of course, let me stop it there, and then we will have some discussion before we proceed further. Start sharing. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm coming. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Who is speaking?
Matthews.
Yeah, Marish.
Matthews. It's Matthews, not
Matthews. Yeah. Tell Matthews.
Yeah. I have a question. Then from then I have a suggestion to make to you. My question is, why is it that most of the distance learners are opting for dual mode learning system as compared to single mode system? That is the first question. And number two, we know that under the dual mode system, students have got the ample time for face-to-face interaction. Now, us as the distance learners, we will be provided with that opportunity by Indian government, so that maybe we can come there in India and then have face-to-face interaction with you, our tutors, our lecturers. So the second part actually is just a suggestion. Will Indian government give us that opportunity, because we also want to have that face-to-face interaction apart from this online learning? Thank you.
Matthews is a question with a what we call rider. A question seeking clarification, and then a rider with a why can't we give an opportunity to visit India? So that's a good, interesting. That's needed also, but that is becomes a policy decision where the governments, intergovernments, have to sit and decide whether to send it, how to send it. You know that visiting the other countries, the tasks involved, the troubles involved, the labor involved, the finances involved. So it's enough. Anyhow, I will come back to that. The first question is why the distance learners are more going for the dual mode institutions rather than single mode. Am I correct? Yeah. IGNO is the single mode institution. Okay. IGNO, UKO is the single mode institution. Strauss Samatai Tapat Open University, Thailand is a single mode institution. Korean Open University is a single mode institution. Allama Iqbal Open University is a single mode. Bangladesh Open University is single mode. Tanzania Open University is single mode. Zimbabwe Open University is single mode. Maybe it is not that there is any clear-cut this thing. There are many students who are studying from the Deccan University, Australian University under dual mode. There are many must be studying from your country and my country through the dual mode institution of University of Trans Malaysia. So there are students studying from the dual mode, and of course you got an opportunity to do this program through the single mode institution like IGNO. It's an opportunity. Maybe I think whether single mode or dual mode, unless those institutions offer the programs in another country, you will not be able to join. Suppose if IGNO says not, no, I will not offer my programs to any other countries, you cannot join. But the IGNO through the help of the government of India and the respective governments from other countries, can let us start the programs. This is how the governmental understanding and collaboration. So it's again, whether it is single mode or dual mode, it's an opportunity whether the institutions are reaching the different one. Then if the university, even single mode doesn't reach it, you cannot enroll. If a dual mode institution does not open the doors to Nigerian students or Zambia, you cannot enroll. So this is how it is. Where you are going, where you are not going. Okay, thank you. Yeah, your second question, interesting one. Yeah, I think how they have visualized this particular program. Only offering the materials through online to the students of this under Evija Bharati scheme. The government has kind in consultation with various experts from your own countries. They will enroll, they will receive the material, e-soft copies, read it, and attend the counseling sessions like this, interact with, followed by the examination. So maybe they have not visualized that a visit, which will consist of many financial implications and other implications, can be a part, if not for a longer duration, can it be a brief 2 days or 3 days or 4 days interaction, can be, but the governmental level, what I don't think that they have taken a decision of this kind, but certainly if Matthews or Adamu, Usman or somebody has a strong lobbying capacity in their own governments at their respective countries, negotiate with them, ask them, okay, maybe at the end of the program, first year, or at the end of the program, the second year, you make a visit, arrange a visit to 5 days. Why can't we go to them and have a long interaction? That type of thing. But at the moment, I don't think that it has, but one can think of it. Matthews, I have answered your question. Second one also. I have answered your second question also, and I'm telling. Okay? Yeah. Anything else? Anything else? Any question? Any clarification? Yeah. No questions. No clarifications. Yeah. Yeah. I think Adamu has written. Adamu has written. My voice is not clear. Yeah. Today I'm not well. Yes, my voice is going down at times. Yeah, you must have seen it. Unlike in earlier sessions, I'm not well, so naturally voice is wavering. I myself is realizing it, but trying to keep a reasonable level. Yes, Adamu, thank you. Maybe, yeah. Tell.
Excuse, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, Abdullah.
Yes, it comes to our knowledge that some in our country, like Nigeria, some open universities, the government of Nigeria is not recognizing the certificates of some open universities.
Yeah,
so my question is that is after our successful completion of the program, will our certificate be recognized by the government of Nigeria as far as civil service is concerned?
I think very interesting question and important question. Abdullah raised it. Yeah, I think maybe that you can ask the government. I think this is a collaboration between Indian government and the collaborative project from your respective governments. Okay, so when two governments come, then only the thing started. So naturally, your government entered into agreement with this Indian government and started these programs. Tomorrow they cannot say that I don't recognize your proposal. Am I correct? And you, without the permission of your government, I don't think that my Indian government could have started the program. Number one. Number two, if the two governments have joined hands to offer this program, the third issue is when you completed the program, de-recognizing the program or not recognizing the program should not arise. I see that But still, for the clarification, you can write to your government who are controlling this program and to the Dehradun RC also the email or something, or if the program is can be recognized or not, they will give more explanation. Official technical information. As a teacher, what I have given is a very general opinion, which is to a large extent correct. Yeah. What is the issue? Anybody else? No? Yeah. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Moses. Yeah.
Sorry, sir. Based on this clarification that you are making now, I'd wanted to ask, but I think I should just make use of this opportunity that this program, who is actually paying for it? Who is actually sponsoring it? Is it as a result of the collaboration between Indian government and the other countries' governments? Who is actually sponsoring it?
I think because these are all administrative managerial issues, I'm not very familiar with that. You can still check with the Dehradun RC through writing to them through email or this. My understanding is it is a collaborative program, the Indian government and the collaboration to respective governments. Yeah. So naturally, both of them agreed. Maybe that once the students completed the program, each country has to spend the money of this much for the student. So it is a sponsoring in that sense. It is a sponsoring by both the governments together. I think that may be the issue. Okay, Moses? Yeah. I think further details, deep into the details, naturally, maybe you can ask the Dehradun RC, which will throw more technical details of the who will funding from the Nigerian government, or who are funding from the Zambia, who are funding from the Mauritius. That details I don't have. So you can still, but it is a collaborative project, that much I can say. Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah. So maybe just addition, and then needing more clarity. Would you come again? Where should we ask? Pertaining to the question of Mr. Moses, where should we ask?
Wilson. Who is asking? Wilson?
Matthews. Matthews.
Matthews, what do you want to? What did you say?
I'm just adding from the question of Mr. Moses Scott.
Who is sponsoring?
Yes, who is sponsoring? Now my question is, where should we ask exactly? Is there any email where we can write to? Or
I think to start with your contact. Do you have any contact point in our country for this program?
Come again?
Do you have any contact point in our country to know about this program? Suppose your Ministry of Education, your government of Nigeria, government of Zambia, any contact is given to you? You contact this person in this? No.
No.
So when your at the moment contact point is only the Dehradun Regional Center, IGNOU Regional Center. Okay. So write to them. So they may be having more information on this. Suppose if I want to contact somebody regarding who is sponsoring this program, whom to contact, so they may throw some more details, Matthews. Okay. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Should we take a break or continue?
Yeah, maybe before we go for a break, just one question.
Yeah.
I wanted to find out, can there be opportunity that we are attached to some universities where we can do the practicals? We go and see their structures, the way they operate. That's to be oriented practically, maybe within our countries.
From which country you are talking, Karuna? Jabede, which country you belong? Jabede?
Zambia.
Okay. Yeah, this I have already addressed it. So either attaching to the country or visiting the any country or doing a practicals, etc. This you have to contact respective your government who are involved in this offering of this program. I don't know in Zambia who is involved. That to know that, I ask you people just have a word with the IGNOR Dehradun Regional Center, so they may throw more light so that we can think of it. Is it okay? Yeah. Yeah, friends, I think, let us see that whether we can talk some more issues in the next unit before we close for this part. Can you see the slide?
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. So my technical expertise is improved, isn't it? Yeah, good. So, yeah, friends, we talked earlier there are different types of institutions in the previous unit. This is a unit 4 of block 3. This we are going to talk about the management of distance education systems. I think so how you manage it. Various types we talk how those systems are managed. And this we'll talk about that. One second, I will come back. Yes. Yeah, friends, we are this unit title is management of distance education systems. How we are going to manage this system. Managing the conventional institutions are different. Managing distance education is different. How these are different, we'll talk about in this particular unit. Yeah. Yeah. And under this, we have a few important issues to discuss it. Distance education and its management, what is it? And then distance education management from the management's perspective is saying whom to offer the programs, what should be the size, what should be the. So these are the management side's perspective, management's perspective, the issues we have to put it, and then what is the strategic planning involved in planning and management of distance education institutions. We'll talk about it. And then comes the management of programs, how to design the program, how to develop the program, how to produce the material. Suppose we have a large number of students and to produce the material, do we have the printing press, all those things, and what technology to be used, what technology applications we have to do that, various things, and even sources of funding, whether the institution is getting a fund, if you are getting a fund from which source, and if these funds are adequate for the all the expenditure of the institution or you have to depend on such. So these are the various issues involved. I think we will talk about that. And then what is the system evaluation also, we will talk about that. Introduction. Yeah. Look at the distance education system, higher education level, and the organization structure system. So we have already read that single mode, dual mode institutions earlier. And then here, growth and development of distance education across the world. What are the various concepts followed by the institutions across the world? Various methods followed. What are the various practices with a view to deepen your understanding of the system? Distinguishing features in the organization structure, we'll talk about in this unit. World provide you with an overview of different models and synaptic view of their styles, practices, as well as general issues associated with the problem of their management, etc. We'll talk about it. And then in this unit, we turn our attention to more detail at the ways in which distance education systems are structured, the specific components, the ways in which they can be planned. We will talk about those things. Yeah. What are the objectives you will achieve? And after reading through this unit, you will identify the major issues and concerns involved in the management of these education systems. Discuss the roles and functions of management of in the selection of programs as well as the development and deliver. Yep. And then critically assess the various strategic options available to the management in the selection of media technology. What is the criteria as a institution, this education institution you have to apply while selecting a technology, while selecting a particular media for your institution? So we will talk about that. And then evaluate the economic aspects of the system. Yeah, I think particularly the economies of scale referred to distance education and what are the investments you have to make. So these cost structures are equally important. Let us move to the next one. Distance education and its management. Yeah, this is what we are discussing. Distance education is a rapidly growing area. That's what we thought. Information communication technologies have tremendously expanded, tremendously developed in the world scenario. I think freedom of the constraints of time and space has provided the added advantage to it here. I think you and me are meeting through virtual online program, so naturally there's no time and space constraints as such. It has become an advantage. Vastly heterogeneous in characters attitude here. You are from different age groups, you are from different character, and your attitudes are different, my attitude is different. And to pursue different programs of their choice to meet a variety of needs. I think these are the distance education and the management perspective. These are the issues which we involve. Yeah. Variety and styles of the systems functioning in different parts of the world. Yeah. We have the different types which we talked in the previous unit. Single mode institutions, dual mode institutions, consortia types, virtual universities, and different sizes also. It's not only the different modes, and the very purpose different. Dual mode institution purpose is different, single mode institution purpose is different, a consortia purpose is different, and the size is also different. So IGNO is huge, IGNO is huge. So, and the technology used and patterns of management are also varied from institution to institution. IGNO is using a different type of technology. Their management styles are different. PKO is using different technologies. Their management styles are different. So this is how one has to see that. And they also vary in structure and organization. The structure of IGNO, structure of PKO is not similar. Maybe there may be few similarities, but not really totally similar. They have differences also. Depends on the need of the institution they go for. The managers of distributed systems have to grapple with implementation of several integrated systems. Yeah, I think any management of distribution system ultimately is a challenge. Suppose conventional institution has a different set of problems. The distribution institutions' problems are different, and the challenges are different, and the way it is managed is not the same thing how you manage a conventional institution. That much I can say. It's very complex. It's very, and then complex systems have to be organized in simple way or complex way, but it has to be organized in an efficient manner. The ways in which decisions are taken and implemented one of these components have direct impact. Yeah, as you said, it is a complex and interrelated system. District education is an interrelated system. Various subsystems are there. There is a number of subsystems which are interrelated. So when the subsystems are interrelated, if one subsystem is not ordering or functioning well, we have the implication on the other subsystem. I hope you got the point. Suppose the faculty of social sciences is supposed to develop a material. If they don't develop the material, the distribution division cannot, the printing division cannot print, the distribution division cannot distribute the material, the examination system do not do. So you see the interrelation. So this is where the complexity of the things will appear. The ways in which decisions are taken on component has it. Yeah. Learner needs, I think, as I said, that the distance education systems are offering to the heterogeneous learners. Homogeneous learners, its large extent will be similar in a conventional class mode. Where in the distance learning, heterogeneous learners, their needs, their requirements are also different. Where in England, education has become a mass enterprise. Most developed countries have reached enrollment GERs at 50% or more. Knowledge is the key to all enterprises in the world today. That's what we discussed in the unit, the block 2, higher education and the global scenario, global economy. That's what. At the rate knowledge is expanding today, human beings are finding it impossible to cope with excess innovation. I think you are all educated, I am a bit educated, but still the knowledge is expanding in such a way, I don't think I am able to catch all those things or you are able to catch. But that's how the world changes. Things cannot wait for it. Things cannot wait for it. Okay? Yeah. Welcome. Yeah, this is how the knowledge economy, the world cannot wait for Murthy. It keeps moving. Okay? It doesn't wait for Matthews, doesn't wait for Morris. Things are changing. Whether you want to follow the changes or not is in our hands. Okay. Responding to emerging needs, we'll just talk about it. Give me a minute. तो तिरकी को लगा तिरकी यहाँ दिया क्या इसमें दिया लो दिया
मेरा तो ऑलरेडी दूल्हे का हो गया सर
आप अंदर रखो लगा
मेरा भी तो उनको पूछ के था
तिरकी आ गया कहाँ लिखा है ठीक है पूछेगा कोड था तो पता होगा
पता तो है
इनको ये बता दो तो इसी टाइम में क्लास है तो मैं हाथ पकड़ ऐसा to manage और manipulate आ जाओ बाद में अभी हो गया तो बस yes friends sorry yeah that's how varying learning needs of distance education learners distance learners response to and how your institution is responding to that needs diverse and needs yeah and then profile student profile distance learners are different how to meet their different profile that required and then of course media choice what the media choices in distance education programs in the limited context and look at the wide range of options in distance education now to choose from. There are technologies available now, at least now, if not a decade back or 2 decades back. Now there are plenty of technologies available, provided your institution can afford this technology. Your learners, that's the two questions. Your learners can have the access to technology. That's it. If your institution cannot offer it, then there's no question of thinking about that technology. If your institution can afford, but will your students be able to have access? If your students cannot have the access, there's no point institution should use that technology. That's what is a simple way. The major considerations for distance education managers choosing the media are use the media only those media that our learners can have already explained. The affordability of access to a particular medium, both for the provider, means institutional learner. The access should be having a two phases. One is the access to institution and access by the learners. Even as the internet is making deep inroads, issues of connectivity, yes, internet penetration is much more than what it was a decade or 2 decades back. But still there are the problems, but still one has to go for that. Yeah, pedagogical significance of the media. Whether you are using media for the sake of it or the fashion, no. Whether that has some teaching learning purpose. Suppose I am following this counseling session with the help of a particular technology. It's not that I like it. It is the technology. It is I am using it because I am able to reach you through this technology. That's the purpose. It's the pedagogical purpose. It's not that because it is available that I am giving to you. Yeah, that's important. In the developing countries, education providers are mainly the governments. Yeah, most of them also have the national television networks. Yeah, in India we have a large number of television networks. Some are private and a few are governmental. And the public funded institutions like IGNO, we use the governmental television networks to teach our classes to Indian students. This is all happening. The choice of media should ultimately come from the judgment of the management about suitability and appropriateness of specific situation. I have already talked about it. Technology and efficiency. Is this technology is efficient or not? If it is not efficient, then there is no question of using it. And choice of institution models, what institutional choices are there to use these models, and that's how one has to go for it. Yeah, strategic planning. Yeah, I think distribution system is set up by the government or university or even a private provider can start the distance education institutions in their country. Mission statement, what should be the why we are offering the distance education to this institution. The statement define the mission, touchdowns, augmenting education provision. I have already talked about widening access, providing second chance to those who could not afford higher education earlier, continuing professional development. I already talked about you. Well, these are the important issues to make a strategic planning for the institution in our country. Some examples of strategic thinking in distance education. I think UNISA, we have already talked earlier, the oldest distance university from a predominantly correspondence education several decades ago. UNISA has emerged a strong UNISA has emerged a strong and powerful distance education institution after a merger of, that's why I already told you that 2-3 institutions merged together, it became a stronger distance teaching institution in the UNISA. So this is how, objectives. UNISA as a leading provider of quality distance education program through an academic product range and that expands from there. It has established the quality and the strategies followed by UNISA, a common understanding of the nature of role of UNISA, and strive to make distance education a method of choice for South African and African students. Position UNISA as a university of first choice. So because if you want to make your institution as a first choice for other students, you have to provide the quality. That's what we do. Develop an appropriate and relevant programs and qualification mix aligned with the comprehensive needs of the African university in the services of Africa. Of course, that is the motto of the UNISA. And then ensure the relevance of UNISA's PQM and research regular conducting need analysis. They keep conducting the surveys, studies. Position provider of quality distance program through an academic product. I think that's what is the thing. And then relevance of university, manage access for providing students with the necessary competencies, maintain and improve UNISA's position as a quality provider of distance education through. These are the strategic planning issues of UNISA has taken an example. and the management of the programs, how you manage the program, material design and development. I said that in a distance education institution, particularly where the print media is. Suppose if you ask me that print is our main medium, supplemented or complemented to the other media. So when the print is main medium, in the large extent, majority of the distance education institutions, whether single mode or dual mode across the globe, it is the print is the main medium. Maybe China Radio Television University is an exception. Their main media is not the print. They go research the radio and television is their print. So actually they teach through radio and television, and then the print they may supplement with a little print or no print. So that's how. But majority is the print. When the print material is the main medium, how you design the print material, how you develop the print material, how you produce the print material with the multiple copies and in thousands and thousands and thousands, and how you distribute the students, distance learners who are spread across your length and breadth of your country and beyond the country. These are the issues. And then what type of support you are providing. I think the student support systems, any distance education, for the success of distance education institution, you need to provide a good support. That's why I think student support services class is there. MDE 413, these are issued, must have talked about it, what support you have to provide to the students, how you provide, what are the mechanisms for that, etc. in that one. And technology applications management, I have already talked about it, what type of technology you have to use it, and how you decide the technology. I told the affordability, accessibility, and cost factors in deciding the technology by the institution to the distance learners. And the resource management, yes. Suppose IGNO is a public funded institution. We get the funds from the government of India, but gradually the government of India started reduce the funding, so naturally left the university, asked the university to become self-sufficient. Actually, that made us to depend on our own program, depend on the students' fees, depending on the material, sales of the materials which we for the other students or other institutions. So this is how the institution sources of funding. I think institutions fully funded by the government, institutions sponsored by the government, and understanding become self-supporting. Yeah, we started by the government, but we are left to become self-supporting, self-sufficient. Private institution not dependent on the governments, are exclusively funded by the private managements, and then budgeting. Whatever the funds you have to budget it systematically to keep the expenditures, to meet the expenditure in respective areas, and what is the unit cost. And the unit cost means that what is the money, how much I have to spend on the student, how much I have to get it from the student, the activity costing or unit, how much on the print, how much on the active, how much on the media, how much on the support services. All those things are activity costing. How to manage the resources, etc., is an important issue. I think let me complete that. I have completed that thing. Okay, let me stop sharing. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Yes, friends, I'm here. I have completed the two themes today. One is the what is that? The types of different distance education institutions, and then how to manage them. So the managerial issues involved in the management of distance education institutions. Number of issues are there to manage it. I think if you become a vice chancellor of a open university, you will realize that n number of issues which you confront. Tomorrow, Zambia may start the open university. Mauritius become the vice chancellor. He has to face the music. He has to address those issues. So Matthews can become a vice chancellor. Anybody. When you sit in that hard chair, you have to manage it. You have to face it. Yeah. Any question to see? Any clarification? No clarification? Okay. 13.3.
Just a clarification, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. There is a person I consider to be very important, according to me.
Which one?
Is this person you talked about, one of the founder of distance education? That is in 1830, early 1830. You talked about, is it Pittman, who started the distance in form of correspondence. Is it? Yeah. So is it right for me to consider that person to be a father of distance education?
No. Because he started it a specific purpose. He used the postal tuition as a medium, to teach the shorthand skills to the personal secretaries and others. So for a purpose. That mode what he followed was observed by the education institutions and then started using it.
The other question is on the organization structure of open distance university. Is there any difference between the conventional university and open distance education in terms of organization structure? Is there many difference there?
There are a few differences. The conventional institutions, like the Open University, they have a policy-making body, the board of management, a board of governors, we call. That's common in any institution as the highest policy-making body. Okay, and that any institute, the Open University and or a conventional university, have to be headed by the vice chancellor, or whether you call it as a president or anything. So that's the CEO of the university. That's a common. And the academic decision-making bodies of the thing, where the academic decisions are taken in conventional university, we need academic council. In our university also, we call it an academic council. So these are the commonalities. But there are differences in the organizational structure also. Who have the regional services to manage the different regional centers across the country and beyond the country. This is not the case in case of a conventional institution. We have a huge division, regional services division, which is responsible to provide the support to the distance learners throughout the length and breadth of the country and beyond the country, like you. So that is the day division. Suppose the regional center like Dehradun, we have almost 55, 57 regional centers in the country, and few centers in the Gulf, few centers in other countries. So to manage all these institutions, you need a superstructure, what we call the regional service division at the headquarters, which is not the case with the MSc University. Like we have a electronic media production center to plan and design the academic audio video programs, other media programs, which is not the case in case of them. So this is how the similarities are different. Yeah. Yes, any other? So if you don't have a question, so I have a small activity. I think in spite of my repeated requests and activities tasks giving, so not many colleagues are doing the activity. What I said is, what is that? Yeah. So
please, before you go to the activities, Abba. Please, I just want to share my experience from my country perspective, that is Nigeria. Although, like, the quality of education of those graduate from Open University is the same or is equivalent to those from the conventional university. Yet those graduates from Open University, they still not recognized, especially those graduate from professional courses, for example, lawyers. They hardly allowed to practice or to get license, and also nursing graduate. So do you think that a single mode that is online is effective, or there is a need for the Open University in Nigeria to switch to a blended learning, so that the demarcation between the graduate from conventional university and those from Open University to be removed? That's my question.
Yeah, Masood, I got it. This is a very important question and very complex to answer. Very complex question as well. Number first one, let me divide that into 2-3 sub questions. The first one is that whether the degree gained by the distance education or the gained by the open conventional institutions are one and the same. I think when it comes to the at least public funded institution, suppose IGNO is a public funded institution, University of Delhi is a conventional public funded institution, Jawaharlal Nehru University, conventional public funded institution. Any graduate coming from these three universities, any employer should see that all these degrees are equal. Okay, that's what is the most equal. Yes, it should be equal, but the employer is not the same. Employer is a different fellow. When he treat me as a this to Murthy is coming from a degree from open university. Pardon? Yeah, Masood.
Beside employers, you know, those professional courses, as a graduate, after graduation, you need to get a license.
Wait, I am coming step by step. So you have asked quite a few things. So let me come with the first step and then come to the professional courses. Okay? Yeah. So then what happened? So not only employees, even a public also, general public. Oh, Murthy, you got a degree from distance here. What? Get lost. So like that. These are the abuses. But the institute, the government used to say all degrees are equal. But there is a long, at least Indian case, there is a long debate, long the disparity or discrimination between the modes of degrees also. All those things happened. One good news, after 3-4 decades of learning, recently the government of India through University Exams Commission has come out with in writing, through a order, through a gazette type. The degree, whether you did it from a conventional, whether a degree you did it from a open university, whether a degree did it from an online, virtual, all are equal. So that is with me. When I go to that issue is solved in. So it has to be solved by whom? It has to be solved by the managers of the education system in our country. Minister, big minister, and the big minister is their duty to do it. That's okay. That's what. Second question is professional courses are a bit more complex one. What the regulators of the professional courses, regulators of the general higher education is University Grants Commission in India, but the technical education, for the technical education, we have All India Council of Technical Education. For a bar legal education, it is the Bar Council of India. They feel that the degrees, professional degrees in the respective areas should not be taught through distance mode or online mode. So it's a regulator. They have taken a decision. Naturally, if the regulator is not accepting the Bachelor of Law or a Master of Law should be taught through distance education, they will not regulate. So IGNO, we have a school of law. We have a faculty of law. But we don't teach the degree program because I did not get the permission from the Bar Council of India. You got my point? So naturally, when I don't get the permission, I don't offer it. So if the institution, there is a Nigeria Open University, if they are offering a professional program, they should see that these professional programs are approved by the respective regulators, and then students should not be at the receiving end. I hope I addressed your point, Masood. Masood, did I?
Yes.
Yes. So it is a government duty. It is a regulator. Regulator is also part of government. Whether it is a Bar Council, whether it is a technical education.
I think regulators, they are independent. Regulators, they are not part of the government. They are responsible for the regulating of the programs and giving license to the graduate. So sometimes they even have to accreditations. They are part of the accreditation team of the university, but they are not part of the government. They are like professional bodies. I don't know about Indians, but in Nigeria, it's
maybe you are right. In Indian scenario, my regulator is University Grants Commission for General Higher Education, All India Technical Education, Bar Council. All these are the part of the governmental system. These
they may be part of the accreditation team. Accreditation.
So in our case, these regulators are independent regulators. In our case, that's what Masood is telling.
Yeah, sure.
So this is how the difference is. But in Indian case, most of the regulators, the medical education, technical education, legal education, all of them are the governmental institutions with a specific. There will not be interference into them, but the establishment of that. So naturally, there's accountability and all those things. We have accreditation system, university accreditation system by the National Assessment of Accreditation Council. Again, it's a public funded institution. They have the benchmarks, accordingly they accredited the institution. All these things are there. Okay, friends, I think we have crossed the 5 o'clock. The clock says. I think it's a good interaction. Thank you very much. I think more, as I say, observe it, most of the colleagues are not joining. So if you know the colleagues, tell them and make use of the system, make use of the opportunity. I think out of 80, we are receiving only 15, 20, 11 students. And I'm speaking at the peak of my throat. And then today I was not well, but still I tried to conduct it. So anyhow, I think maybe we will have the class maybe after a week or so. And the next class, maybe, let me tell you, when is the next class? My next session is only after 13th March. Yeah, 13th March. So there is quite some time. That time I may not be able to take on 13th. Let me see whether I can switch it to somebody else. I will do that. Try to read the material, relate it. Now, whether Masood discussed it, Maris discussed it, we are relating it. Suppose Masood talked about the regulators. So what is your experiences as regulator? How they regulate it? Professional education regulator, general education regulator. So this is how you have to relate it. Relate it and write it, and then we will have a discussion. It's not just so I think it's an important thing. So read it, and then we'll meet in the next class. Okay? Thank you. Good evening. Good night. Bye. Have a nice time. Back. Yeah. Bye. 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 Thank you. Thank you.